The European Union has told member states not to break ranks or do side deals with the UK if Brexit trade talks fail, according to reports. Brussels reportedly ordered member states in a meeting of diplomats on Thursday to remain united to force Britain back into negotiations after January 1. With just 3 weeks to go until the transition period ends, the UK and the EU are yet to strike a post-Brexit trade deal. According to a diplomatic note seen by the Financial Times, EU member states were told not to do anything that would reduce the impact of no deal. A Brussels official told the diplomats that an incentive must be maintained for the UK to return to the negotiating table as soon as possible if talks fail this year. Chief negotiators Michel Barnier and Lord Frost are continuing talks in Brussels in a bid to reach a breakthrough. Prime Minister Boris Johnson and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen have agreed to make a decision on the future of the negotiations by the end of the weekend. Mr. Johnson warned on Friday that no deal is very, very likely. The Prime Minister admitted the UK and EU are still at odds over fisheries and the so-called level playing field, but he added that he was hopeful there could be progress. Speaking during a visit to Blyth in Northumberland, Mr. Johnson said, "Unfortunately at the moment, as you know, there are two key things where we just can't seem to make progress. And that's this kind of ratchet clause they've got in to keep the UK locked in to whatever they want to do in terms of legislation, which obviously doesn't work. Then there is the whole issue of fish where we've got to be able to take back control of our waters. So there is a way to go. We're hopeful that progress can be made. But I've got to tell that from where I stand now, here in Blyth, it is looking very, very likely that we will have to go for a solution that I think would be wonderful for the UK, and would be able to do exactly what we want from January. It obviously would be different from what we'd set out to achieve, but I have no doubt this country can get ready and, as I say, come out on world trade terms." Meanwhile, Ms. von der Leyen said the two sides remained apart on fundamental issues. She said the UK would be free to decide whether to follow each time the EU changes its regulations, though if it refused the bloc would adapt the conditions for access to its markets. The so-called level playing field, aimed at preventing Britain undercutting Brussels on standards and state subsidies, has proved to be a major stumbling block in talks.